Alrighty, what is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel for another market update. Hope everybody had a lovely day. And with that being said, dive into the TA. All right, guys. So we didn't move anywhere here on the indices today. You gapped up slightly. You tried at Friday's high there, and you pulled back. Okay, so the most ideal scenario we were gonna get, most probable scenario this week was we are gonna get a pullback to start the week. That, yeah, I'm thinking it still gets bought by end of week, but we're gonna have to see how deep this one wants to go. That could have been all she wrote, and you just pivot up off of it. Either way, just watch today's low, which is at 621.69. If you get underneath there, you're taking out the 4-hour 21 EMA, and that means you're starting to roll over on this time frame. Okay, that means you probably are going to come down to the 21 to 9 EMA over here, like we were thinking originally before the week started. Okay, so real simple. On the downside, you have today's low, 621.69, 619.54, 618.03, and then you have the 21, which is around the 615 area. Okay, on the upside, just watch 628.92 above there, all-time high 637.01. Okay, that's QQQ. Coming over to SPY, same picture. Okay, you also bounced off of the 4-hour 21 EMA today, came a little bit lower there. Just watch today's low at 681.57. So on the downside, you have 681.57, 678.74, and then 675.56. Okay. In between 675 and 678, expect buyers to step back in. Okay, that is that. On the upside, you have 684.96, 686.64, today's high, and above there, 688.39, which is Friday's high, and you're at all-time highs at that point. You have 689.70. And if you break out the new all-time highs, I think you kind of just push $700. So, yeah, I am, I was talking about a sharper pullback into this area that then gets bought up after that. We'll see how that goes. Okay. But that's what we got for the time being. VIX is getting a little bit of a bounce today. Don't mind that. You're expecting this to be sold. Regardless, go with the flow over here on the indices. Expect that this pullback is going to be the case. And just remember what we talked about, okay? All of these things, RSP, the MAGS ETF, the Magnificent 7 stocks, okay? SMH, semiconductors. These things are poised to break out into new highs. We, talked about this possibility being the most probable scenario where you get the pullback to start the week. And then, we're going to see all these things start to rip. But we have all the components here that make up the market ready to rip, really. You have small caps, you have semiconductors, you have big tech, you have the Magnificent 7 stocks. Things are ready to rip. Market probably is going to be, it's about to be driven higher in December. Don't let people scare you out. And, don't let the market scare. I'm not talking, do whatever I'm not telling you to hold through this. I told you about this, potential pullback in the weekly update there before today started. Just realize over here, if we see it, this is where I'm looking for buyers to step back in. That's pretty much it. Okay. So that's SPY and QQQ, guys. We're just going to go over a few of the Magnificent 7 stocks today. Nvidia. Not going to say it was so easy, but I will tell you, oh, they pumped it. Okay, so this is the Magnificent 7 stock to be focusing on right now. We said Nvidia and Meta. We're watching for the consolidation on Meta, and then Nvidia here was top watch into this week. If you could take out today's high or Friday's high there, or not Friday's high, last week's high at 185.66, and above there we got the 188 today. This is probably going to be pushing into the rest of the week. Okay. I am guessing we are going to at least see 190. But yeah, 190 and then 195.62. Those are the levels you got right now. Okay, so above 188, today's high, we have 190.11 and then 195.62. Okay, don't be surprised to see this thing do a little of this. Okay, gets, continue pop up here, gets like 190, 192, we'll call it, pulls back, and maybe close out the week over here. Okay, or maybe it rips back up. Maybe it happens next week. I don't know. Okay, and then something like that. Don't be surprised to get that pullback, though. The cloud is not flipped green, and a lot of times when it's in the process of doing so, we will dance around there for a little bit. So it's something I just thought I'd point out. Something like over here, oh, you didn't flip green, you danced around it, you pulled back into it. So it's just something I see a lot of the time. Don't be surprised if it happens over here. Okay. It's the video. We got Meta over here, guys. Just watch for this range to continue building out. Okay. This thing builds out a range, then pops from underneath here, and then all of a sudden you're probably pushing 710. You know, and we probably continue consolidating for the coming sessions here, coming 1 to 2 sessions, then push end of week. Or I was thinking they bring this out of it sooner, and then you have like a 20 to 30 point range that builds out here for 1 to 2 weeks before that next leg up. Either way, we are watching Meta over here. You know, we caught that initial pop. Now we want to see if we can catch that next move up. And this is the consolidation we were thinking was going to be the case. All right, so that's Meta. Okay, bottom end of the range, 660, top of the range, 676. And that is that. Microsoft, guys, started popping back today. Look at this, guys. You got a little base action going on here. It's looking like this thing wants to start doing the dash. You're pushing that 21 EMA there on the daily time frame, and it looks like this is not going to reject this time. You already rejected there once, twice, 3 times. Probably not going to happen the 4th time here. Just realize once you get back above the 21, this thing likes to pull back and retest that same thing we just talked about there on Meta. Okay. Or not Meta, on Nvidia, we talked about that exact thing happening, okay? And that's just a lot of the times when you get back above the 21, when you're rejecting it, you will come back to retest it, okay? That's what we should be expecting over here. So Microsoft might push up to $500 in the short term, but it probably pulls back into that 21 EMA, okay? So expect that to be the case. That's Microsoft, okay? As far as tickers, okay, to focus on into tomorrow and, you know, things that are standing out right now. First of all, actually, before we go into anything that I'm liking right now for tomorrow, I do want to say APP, it's starting to pull back. Let's hope this thing gets a decent pullback going. We'll see how this goes. Okay, that, you know, either way, we're watching the 9 EMA over here, the short-term moving averages. I don't think you get all too much. I don't think it's going to be like this guy over here. I think this thing is honestly ready for all-time highs, and it's going to be a short-lived pullback that we get right over here. And it might even get bought by end of week if, you know, sells tomorrow and then on Wednesday. We'll see how it goes, okay? But ALAB, ALAB, okay? So this guy's false breakout. Never got the daily close, you know, out of this little, you know, consolidation, this compression pattern you got going on here. Well, actually, you know, I talk about the golden pocket a lot on this channel. It's one of my main tools. And yeah, pulled back perfectly, 0.786, got bought up. Now, if it takes out 182.53, my guess is this week, this thing is going 200 plus. So that's ALAB, ALAB. Yeah, above 182.5, look for 200 plus, and then 212 from there. Okay. Hood, HOOD. Yeah, this thing also looks like it's going to be doing some cool things in the short term here. I'm guessing this weekly candle is going to expand to get over 138.99. You really don't have anything until all-time highs. You know, again, weekly cloud, guess what? You get back above the 21, you come back to retest it. That's just how, on every stock, you should be expecting, okay? Just confirm what I was just talking about, okay? We're going to see it all across the board all the time. But yeah, over here on Hood, guys, do not be surprised to see the dips continue getting bought over here. We already did take out last week's high. Would not be surprised to see this thing continue pushing. Look at this monthly chart. And honestly, this is why APP, I'm going to pound the table on this name over here. Look at this guy. Okay, this thing, next 1 to 2 months, these next 2 monthly candles here look like this thing get to 900 plus, maybe $1,000. Either way, it's a chart to focus on right now. It really is. So if we get that dip, APP, top watch. All right. RDDT, Reddit. Oh, sweet baby Jesus with the strength today, baby. Oh, yes. 240 plus incoming in the short term. Expect dips to be bought. That's all I'm really going to say. We talked about these things in the weekly update. I hope you guys are tuning in for them. I think we got some real valuable stuff. But the fact you got the pullback out of the way and now you're pushing, you know, above last week's high tells you that this weekly candle is probably about to expand. And I wouldn't be surprised to see 250 this week. All right, that's Reddit. NBiz, guys, at $100 now. Watch for the breakup of 103.84. From there, you watch them for 109 and then 114.85. NBiz, big turnaround story. It's starting up. We'll see if we get the breakout this week above 103.84. TSM with the gap up and then intraday recovery after pull back there. This looks like it can continue up to all-time highs in the short term. We've been watching this name next 1 to 2 weeks here. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised to see it this week. But yeah, all-time highs on deck. TSM. Okay. And you, All right, this is the last one I got for you today. You guys having itself quite a day here, up 7%. $50 is income in the short term. I do think this is going to be a multi-week rally here. It's one to focus on. And just realize that dips are likely to be bought until proven otherwise. And that's really it. Okay, that is it, guys. So, you know, you go a little bit higher, you pull back over here. The 90 EMA catches up with price. You expect it to maybe base out for a few days and then push back up. Okay. Like that, just like that. You pull back short-term moving average. There's that. Watch for that mean reversion. That can provide your entry point if you're not in. And there you go. Have a good time. All right, guys, that was the first 10-minute video that I think we've ever done here on this channel. We had to have done it 1 or 2 times. Either way, we did it. Yeah, honestly, guys, just take a chill pill, okay? There's no reason to really stress yourselves out right now. Let the market do what it wants. We knew the pullback was likely going to be coming to start the week. Now we get to find out if they pivot up off of the 4-hour 21 EMA or not, okay? If they take out today's low tomorrow on both SPY and QQ, if they do these, expect that we're going to test these 9 EMAs, which on QQQ is down at 619, SPY down at 680, so not much lower. 681, not much lower than where we got today. But you got the 21 that's down 677. So 677 up to 681 is where we'd expect buyers over there. QQQ 615 all the way up into about 619. Either way, we're not expecting them to bring it too far down, but you know, like I don't think they're going to take out last week's low, which is down at 612.52. I don't think we're going to get down there. So use that as your reference, okay? And if it happens, hey, it happens. And at that point, bada bing, bada boom. Golden pocket, okay? If you end up taking out last week's low, I mean, you got to be open to them having a full-on retracement of this move. Now, that being said, do I think that's going to happen? No. I think these things are, you know, whatever pullback they give us here, it's okay to expect it to be bought. Everything looks like it's going to rip. Regardless, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. With that being said, and if you guys want to come trade with me, that link is going to be down below. I'm live every day. I trade with you guys, you know, on stream there with you. Yeah, you know, we've been on a heater the last few weeks, and out of the Mag 7 stocks, guys, we caught Apple, we caught Meta. Okay, we'll see if we catch this next meta move. Okay, but you know, we caught, you know, the little Nvidia pump. The charts, it's just kind of confirmation all the time. Okay, the charts do predict the news. You can try and tie a narrative to a move in the stock, but at the same time, you know, I promise the narrative switch comes when that narrative, the narrative switch comes when the stock chart flips. Okay, that's pretty much how it is. Okay, so you know, over here on Nvidia. Did I think they were going to have this surprise crazy bullish catalyst today? No, I did not. That being said, the charts told me to pay attention to this thing. Top watch for Mag 7 stocks this week, okay? Why? Because it was 3 weeks in a row you closed above the weekly 21 EMA. You got the bullish engulfing candlestick last week. If we could pull back and then push above last week's high, that is what would have told you this thing is ready to go. Well, what did this thing do this morning? It wanted, before any news came out, it already pushed 185.66. So, you know, kind of, it tells us it's probably going to be retested in the short term here. And yeah, you know, at some point resistance breaks and this thing is going to start turning around. Regardless, guys, if you want to come trade with me, that link is going to be down below. All right. I hope everybody enjoyed the video. Please remember to leave a like on these videos. It greatly helps the channel here. And I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace.